Planning ahead before you hit the road, whether it's a short trip or a long trip, will definitely save you a lot of headaches.
So in this video, we're going to show you how to best plan your trip, plan your food, plan your weight distribution, and have an amazing trip.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good.
Well, we are off on a really fun trip at the moment to my favourite place. Bunnings!
You're so weird.
I love Bunnings so much. Gosh, I miss that when we're on the road, because every time we went to Bunnings, we could only go for necessity. I couldn't go just for fun, because nothing fit in the van.
And you didn't really enjoy it when they only had a Mitre 10.
I know. It's not the same. Bunnings is like my second home. I love it. Anyway, so we are off to Bunnings.
So what are we doing? I just been told we're going to Bunnings.
Tim's coming for moral support.
Yeah, right.
And to pay for everything.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
So what are we getting?
Just watch your speed there, mate.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you get a little bit excited to get to Bunnings, but you don't want to get a ticket on the way.
That's true. Thank you. No, go on. Carry on.
We are going to Bunnings because in 5 days we are setting off in the Caravan for our first big trip for the school holidays.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go and get all my little knickknacks and all my little bits and pieces that we always get in our vans. In our last van, we pretty much left everything in the van and we sold it with the van. So we don't really have anything of the extra little things.
For example, like what are you talking about when you say knickknacks? This is always very
It's
dangerous.
going to be a surprise for you.
Whenever you start talking about buying knickknacks, you end up buying like a lot.
But do you know what?
So can we at least get an idea of what you're going to buy?
I just saved us a ton of money on Christmas tree. I just got us the best Christmas tree. I'll post it and I'll show you. It was $60 from Kmart. And I'm like so proud of myself because all the other ones I was looking at were like $150. I mean, it's a Christmas tree. Anyway, Bunnings, back to Bunnings and the Caravan. For example, I'm getting just like little shelving things that we have stuck on the mirrors, not on the mirrors. On the mirror we stick, what are they called, those things?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You do? The things that we stick on there.
Oh, those little suction cup things.
I can't think what, fusion locks.
Oh yeah.
Fusion locks. They were awesome. We've had them in every event. So I've got to get a couple of fusion locks, one to hold all our toothbrushes and toothpaste and that. Then I think we had a little shelf that we used to have also on the side for all our other little like hairbrushes or all little everyday things that we have in the bathroom. And also the shampoo, conditioner, body wash thing that goes into the shower and sticks on. See, he makes fun of me, but then when we have them, he's like, babe, that was such a good idea. I'm so glad you got these. We should go get another one for this.
Yeah, right.
So even though you're trying to make out like you're not that excited, he really, deep down, he's loving it. He's so excited. He's probably more excited than me.
Deep down.
Oh, stop it. And we brought Riley with us as well.
Riley's thrilled.
Riley's really thrilled. He's been playing with his mates all morning on the computer, so we just decided that a Bunnings trip and a sausage sizzle maybe if he's lucky.
Sushi.
Oh my gosh, this kid's going to turn into sushi.
Sushi.
We'll see. Anyway, so this is where we're off to, so we're going to take you guys along for our little knick-knack shopping at Bunnings. We've literally walked into Bunnings and Tim's already been distracted.
You got to paint the studio.
Oh, it's a bit bright, isn't it? I'm going to go to the bathroom section. I want my knickknacks.
That's bright.
That's like sunshine, like you. Where's Riley? We've lost our son. Oh, he's going over there. He's getting the painting gear.
This one.
You sure you don't want the other one?
No, it's $20 more.
But you're going to complain we can't put those little bits and pieces on the little shelf and this.
I never complain, baby. You're the one that complains.
Are you kidding? You're getting distracted again.
Well, when we get...
I think we actually came here for you.
I'm just saying, when we get serious about buying a pump for the dam, we should come here because they're heaps cheaper than that place we went the other day.
Well, that's not a pump for the dam.
Like we can even get one. We can even get one like a Ryobi one, but
no, baby, it's got to be outside. No, you don't. It's not. This is a different kind of pump.
it's not. It's
The one that we specifically needed, we had to go to that other place. We've already done this research. The one that we needed and wanted from the angle of our block is not the ones from here.
There's some good pumps here.
Anyway, we still haven't found what I came here for. I'm
Oh.
not really sure where it is. It's been so long. I need to go find somebody that can help
Dirty
me.
water submersible pump. Look at that.
I'm leaving.
What are you doing?
I need to see what it looks
I'm going
like.
to call the police.
Oh, stop it. Bunnings loves me. I keep them in business.
I'm calling the police.
This actually looks quite... Oh, you know what? This looks really nice. I'm actually really happy with this one. I just need to go back to the other section because I think I need like a little shelf. Don't get so close. That you stick on the wall. Because I use
You don't need a shelf.
I used it all the time.
You know why we don't need a shelf? Because we've got the thing above the sink where the pop top comes up. You've got
It's
that
just a
little
shelf.
there.
That's not like something you chuck all your little nicky-nacky things
So
in.
where are you planning on putting a shelf?
I'm not sure. Okay, guys, I just thought I'd share with you another thing that we do before we head off on any kind of a trip. This is even when we're on the road going to our next destination. I always start writing a couple of weeks before we go away or go somewhere. Just a checklist of all the things that we're going to need while we're away. So I actually have categories how I do everything, and I'll show you them throughout the video as to how we're going to do it. And it doesn't matter what order, it's just randomly in order, however I'm doing it today. But as you can see, I don't know how clear you're going to be able to see it, but I've got food prep, a whole section on all the meals we're going to have. I've started a bit of a snacks thing for mostly Riley more than us. And then our clothes, what we're going to need, each of us are going to need. And obviously then all the different categories here. We've got the paddle boards, the medications, all the stuff we need for the dogs, all our camera gear. And then I also, another thing which I think people forget to do is always have a checklist for your house before you leave. For me, it's, it's checking your lights, all your power points are off, check the battery system for solar, make sure that's all okay, all your taps are off, inside and outside, all those little things that you might forget. And the biggest one is make sure your bin is empty and clean before you leave the house, because you do not want to be coming back to a house full of bugs or maggots or just anything disgusting. So I think that's really a big thing to tick. When people just sort of wing it, sometimes it can backfire. I've also got the different sections, obviously, for the stuff I need in the kitchen, in the caravan, all our swimmers and towels and sunscreen, all our bathroom stuff, and then obviously the bed will already be made, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So that's what I've done so far, but I just think it's a really hot tip for you guys. Get ahead of yourself, start writing a checklist a couple of weeks prior and just keep adding to it over those couple of weeks, and then always start doing your prep work. At least give yourself 2 days to pack the van and be ready. I've decided I want the van packed today. We leave in 2 days, but we're going to get as much as we can get done today. And then on Friday, before we leave, I'll do a triple check. We're actually going to hook up the car and the caravan on Friday, so we can just get up on Saturday morning, pack the last few things, which are, your chargers, your toothbrush, that kind of stuff. And then we can actually just get on the road and away we go.
So the week before we leave, and just in the nick of time, I think we may have finally got our internet sorted out, babe. We just went and picked up a Starlink Mini. So we've had Starlink now since we're on the road. We've got one of the very first Starlinks that came out. I think it is the first model, and right now
it's the first one that before it actually became popular. We already had Starlink.
Yeah,
and everyone found it.
We had it. We took it all the way around Australia with us. And now it's currently on the roof of our house. So
Permanently.
and it's permanently there. So we went and we bought one of the new Starlink Minis, and it's definitely a lot smaller and a lot lighter. Like that's really light. Look at that.
It's so much smaller.
I know. That can actually go into a backpack. In fact, you can actually get a
You
Starlink.
actually can. That's perfect size for a
You
backpack.
can get a Starlink Mini back. You can actually buy them, but we've got plenty of backpacks.
That's really cool.
And so that's it there, and there's a little stand, so it can stand up, so it stands like that, but you can also lay it flat. So we were trying to think of where we were going to put the Starlink, and we were looking at all these different options, and we actually came up with a really cost-effective option to put it on the van. And instead of, one of the options was going to cost us over $1,000, and that was to get like a post and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the telescopic pole and
So
brackets.
we
and, yeah.
didn't really have $1,000 to do that. So we found this little option here, and what it is, it just fits in like that, either side, like that. And then that can just suction cup onto the back of the van, and these suction cups are probably the strongest suction cup I've ever seen. Now they are brand new, but for $50, look at it.
Can we see the other side of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So for $50, that will do us for a little while, I think. And the other great thing about this is that we can turn it around the other way and have it this way, and then we can suction cup it onto the inside of
The sunroof.
sunroof of the car, and we can have Starlink on the car. When we got home, the salesman told us that this would fit into our van. Well, it would fit into the van, but he also told us that there'd be a 12-volt plug, and when you open up Starlink, there isn't a 12-volt plug. You get your 5-meter long Starlink cable, which is this one, and he thought that there was going to be a 12-volt plug, but there isn't. There's just a 240-volt plug, which isn't that big a deal because we do have an inverter in the van. But on our van, the outdoor power point for this, that's not going to fit because it's so long. So that wasn't really going to work. We could have went and got an extension cord.
And then we would have had cords hanging
it
out
just
and
wasn't
attached to
really
another
gonna
cord.
work.
It just would have looked ugly.
So what we did, we went back to Harvey Norman today and we bought another cable. I'll tell you what, this is a very expensive little outline, but anyway, we got a 5-meter cable here, and one end is the end that goes into Starlink, and then the other end, which is really awesome, is the USB-C. But if you've been looking at our videos, you know that in our van, we don't have a USB-C port, so that's no good to us. So we had to get one of these 12-volt plugs. There it is there.
Show us.
And if we open that up,
That's soaker. Oh,
this is what you needed, because you needed a 12-volt plug that could go up to 100 watts, which is this one here. So that'll go into our 12-volt plug there, and hopefully this will work. We're going to fire it up and we're going to see if we can actually get this working, eh?
oh. We have a problem.
What?
It doesn't fit with the little plastic thing on it.
What?
It's too fat to fit in.
You just chuck it out of the way, mate.
Just shove it in. I'm too delicate. Okay, so just before we head outside, I just thought I'd show you a few things. I went to the shops yesterday and just got these few little extra things just because the Caravan's new. I grabbed one of these things just to chuck our cups and plates in. I've got a couple of these little drawer organisers. I have no idea if they're going to fit because I have not even unwrapped them or even been to the Caravan. So you guys get to enjoy that with me. I've got another little basket here, which I'm hoping, again, don't know if it fits yet. I'm hoping that fits underneath the sink in a spot where I really want to put it. I've grabbed an extra couple of little balls for the Caravan because all our stuff's old from our old Caravan that's gone. I've got a nice mat that I'm going to put on the floor. And then these containers here that I bought, these are actually going to be for my food prep. I'm going to show you all that in a little bit. I wanted some nice, fresh, brand new containers. So I know they're all good to go. The sizes also are different because the Caravan size is different. So I've had to get new ones that will fit into the fridge. And I can't wait to show you my food prep in a little bit. We went through some boxes yesterday and I grabbed a few of our little old things from our Caravan. So their sign's going to go back up, another one here, and these lights look a bit of a mess, but these are our little purpley lights. I can't wait to make the Caravan look all pretty with them. I'm sure Tim will be thrilled. Anyway, so that is it for now. I'm going to grab all this stuff together. I'm going to get this all sorted and we're going to head out to the Caravan.
All right, so our battery and power system for our Snow River SRH16F hybrid Caravan. It's a bit of a mouthful, but this van's just been released and the battery management system for the 2025 model is pretty good. It's pretty good. So what we have here is that we have 400 amps of lithium. We have 600 watts of solar on the roof, and we have a 2000 watt inverter. Now, don't count me on this, but I have heard that the 2026 model is even going to have more battery, a bigger inverter, and more solar. So that's pretty awesome. But for us, we think this is going to be pretty much all that we're going to need. The 2000 watt inverter can power everything in our van except the air conditioning, which is not really an issue because the van is just so well insulated. I guess on a really, really hot day, it could be a bit of an issue, but you know, we've found that just the fans, when we put the fans on in the van, that keeps the van pretty cool, especially at night time. But yeah, so look, with the batteries are stored outside the van, so they're stored right there in a box covered in checker plate. We've got two 200 amp batteries in there, and the inverter is stored in the cabinet just above it. It's also encased, or it's also covered up by a door that has a fan that runs automatically whenever the inverter is on. So that keeps the inverter pretty cool. So we don't need to have the inverter on all the time. I guess it's only if we ever wanted to run anything that's 240 volt, because obviously the inverter does take up some battery, so we'll only be using it when we absolutely need it. Right, now the other bit of kit that we absolutely love that helps us with our power management in the van is our EcoFlow portable battery. And the great thing about this is that we can charge all our devices, including our computers, through this particular system. It also comes with its own solar blanket. So the solar blanket can charge it while we're actually using it. So it's very, very efficient. We can charge it from when it's 0% all the way up to 100 with our solar blanket in full sun in about 4 hours.
Okay, so I've ventured out to the shops. I've got everything that we need for next week. Just a budget tip for you guys. If you're going somewhere that's a little bit more remote, or you're not too sure where you're going, try and stock up what you can, because it does get more expensive the more secluded that you get. So I've gone and shopped as much as I can. This stuff is all the fridge stuff. I'll show you the snack stuff shortly, but this is the stuff that we've got that I'm going to be separating and putting into the fridge. So we've got all our meals, our salads, we've got all our fruits, because we love our fruit. We sort of live on fruit. And then just a couple little snacky things. And then all of those things will end up going into all the containers, separated, but to a point where they can sort of be together and it's easier to store. So I've got my work cut out for me this time, because I've got to put it into a much smaller fridge and freezer. So I will check back with you guys when I have got it all into containers, and you'll see this bench here will be a lot smaller and back into containers.
All right, so as I said before, we always travel with at least one tank full. So what I'm doing at the moment, I'm filling up our water tank. And one of the things about this van that is really awesome is that when you fill up the tanks, you don't get any of that gurgling or spitting or burping noises, or it doesn't get airlocked or anything like that. You just put the hose in and away it fills. So it's just super, super easy. But I wanted to show you the hose that we've been using for years. They're from a company called Flat Out International. Now, these hoses are all made in Australia. Their office is in Port Macquarie, and we actually met the owner there a few years ago, and she was just awesome. But basically these hoses here, they're made from like a fire hose, and when they're empty, they're flat. And it makes it super easy to store. They just get stored in these reels here. So you wind it up and it gets stored in the reel. And you can put a 20-meter hose in a container like that. All right, so one more thing with the water. Because we're only filling the water in the rear tank, we need to tell the pump not to draw the water from the front tank. So we go to the pump, which is in the van, under the cupboard, under the sink, and we simply open the valve for the rear tank and we close the valve for the front one. That way we know the pump isn't going to be trying to draw water from that front tank. But obviously if we had both tanks full, we could then have the option of drawing water from either the front or the rear, or both.
All right, welcome back, guys. The sun has gone down. Now the windows are dark behind me. I think if I had finished my food prep and done it from start to finish, I think I'd give myself maybe 2 hours in total. But I stopped and started and I went out to the caravan. I went and grabbed some dinner. And so I've done this throughout the afternoon into the evening. But as you know, you could see the bench before. And if you look at it now, it's literally half the amount of stuff that I had on this bench was full this afternoon. So what I've got here is I've chopped up my watermelon, my strawberries. I've combined strawberries and blueberries in this one and raspberries and blueberries in here. This one's got my lettuce. I did a whole bag of lettuce, then I did a bag of coleslaw, and then I added more lettuce on top. So that's all ready to go. This has our little tomatoes and baby cucumbers. We live on those. I got some fresh ham, and then I got a whole barbecue chicken. I just cut all that up and diced that up and put that into a container. Now this one here, and that says Riley, that's because it was a lunchbox. This is sweet potato and pumpkin that I have already cooked. This actually goes into the dog's food. They're a little bit special. They haven't had this for a little while. So just going away, I think it's just that extra bit of comfort for them. We can still eat that as well if we want to. It's just literally boiled veggies. And now over here, my wonderful husband, Timothy, has done labels for all my food that I have already pre-prepped. So I have got one that I'm leaving in containers because it's a really smelly marinade. So I didn't want to actually take that out. But these are the labels that Tim's done for me. And all I've done is just cut chicken, diced chicken. I've put a marinade, the pork steaks. I've done a butter chicken, a chicken and veg. And then I've also made up a nachos mix already with all the herbs and all the tomato sauce and all that stuff's all ready to go. So I know this was time consuming, I guess, in a way, but I've been able to just do what I would normally do of an evening with the boys chatting, watching TV, having dinner, and I've just been doing this throughout that time, and it really didn't bother me at all. To be this organised every day, I wouldn't count on it. I don't think I'd want to do this every Sunday for my previous week, but for my coming week. But I would highly recommend doing this because now I know peace of mind that I'm actually going to get to go camping and sit down with the family or go out to the beach or go for a walk, and I can just come home and pull out something out of the fridge or the freezer and chuck it in the pan with some rice. And there's dinner. I don't have to actually carry all the herbs and spices to make the marinade or the mix. I don't have to cut the chicken. I don't have to find another area to put all the cut-off chicken that has to go in the bin. It's literally just grab a bag and there's dinner. We've probably got too much food, I think, but we can always bring it home. Anyway, so that's where I'm up to now. I did say to you I was going to show you the snacks, but I think I'm going to take the rest of the night off and I am going to show you all the snacks on the bench tomorrow. And I might need your hand actually to figure out how on earth I'm going to pack the amount of snacks that I've bought to go into my small little pantry in the caravan. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'll show you the outside first and what I've done. I actually have nothing in the freezer at the moment because I forgot to put my freezer stuff in my house freezer last night. So I want to get them fully frozen in there before I actually put them into this freezer outside. But I'll show you what I have done. I have put stuff into the fridge section and I've still got so much room in here. So most of that was all our snacks, our fruit snacks. I have got the watermelon that I've cut up. I did buy a watermelon, I cut all that up as well, but that's inside in the fridge inside. But most of the stuff I wanted outside actually fit really well, and I'm really glad I got the containers because it's actually going to make it so much easier because they could all stack really easy on top of each other without getting in the way, dropping things, because I know that was a little bit of an issue last time when I had when we were down at Kenilworth. So anyway, so what I've done in here now, the fridge inside here actually it fits a lot more than I thought it was going to. So I have actually put a couple of meals in here. The first 2 nights' meals I've put into this fridge, and I've put all our little snacks. The boys love their little cheese and bickies, so I got 2 packets of those. It's got the block cheese and the juice. This is the watermelon that I've cut up, and then the 2 lots of food. Again, just a couple of extras there. And behind there, I've just got the chicken that I cut up and all the ham that I cut up as well. So, and then obviously, I'm not going to lift this up because it was there, but, oh, that's a bit squeaky. So this is all just our fruit. So I've mixed that with our apples and our nectarines and our lychees. And in this side, I've put some kiwi fruit in there as well. So we've actually got ample food, ample room, and I'm actually pretty surprised. I was concerned looking at my fridge last night, seeing how much room it took up in our big fridge and thinking, how are we going to fit this in the caravan? And once again, it's amazing. It looks so small, but it's so big in so many ways. So I'm pretty stoked with that. I've also changed the cupboard. You know, I showed you outside. I moved all the plates and the cups. This was the cupboard that was in there. Sorry, that they were in. So what I've actually got in here now, obviously you can see, I've got my coconut water because I have a smoothie every morning with fruit. I've got my eggs in here so I know they're safe and not going to get crushed. A couple of extra spare containers and all my little kitchen stuff in here, some paper towels. And then right down the bottom, I've just got my 2 little platters, and I've got some stuff on the bottom there that's going to stop it moving around. I just haven't fixed it yet. Our extra milk and stuff down there. As you can see, I've still got tons of room, and this is where we want to put a secondary shelf. We aren't really that handy, so I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but I know we will because I'm determined to make it work because I don't like wasting space, and I know I could slot lots of little things in there. And then one little place I forgot about, which I was looking today when I was having a little tanty because I couldn't fit everything I wanted to fit where I wanted it. And I was like, I wish we just had one more little bit of space. And then surprisingly, I went, under the fridge. So underneath here, I don't know if you can sort of see, it's a little bit awkward, but these are just my mixing bowls, my measuring cup and little spoons and measuring cups and things like that. And it's quite a good spot, I think, because it was a real nothing spot. When we first looked at the van, I went, well, what are we going to put in there? That's ridiculous. Nothing's going to fit in there. And here I am again. I'm just eating my own words because now I have that in there. Because obviously I'm not going to be doing lots of cooking and stuff, but occasionally you need that big mixing bowl or you've got to measure something just because we do like to cook and make our own stuff. So that's tucked away then for a rainy day, especially when we do bigger trips, 2-3 week trips. I'll be using them a lot. So they're tucked away, out of the way, just for that one time, you know, once or twice a week that I'd use them. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So next, we are going to be heading into the bathroom because I see Riley unfortunately has caught a cold, would you believe it or not? The last 2 days of school, he started getting a bit sniffly and tried to get on top of it. But then the last day of school was at the local pool with the water slides and I couldn't not let him go because it's the end of the year and he wanted to hang out with his friends. So anyway, he had a great day, but suffering the consequences now because he's quite sniffly and he's been in bed for most of the day. So I'll see if he wants to come in and help out and fill up the shampoo, conditioner and body wash because it's kind of fun. And if not, it will be me. Okay, so I thought I would bring this up again because I know the first time I found this folding technique for our clothes, it was an absolute game changer for us in the caravan when we were traveling Australia. So I thought I'm going to continue it on even on our short trips. And I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a refresher on it. So to get our t-shirts like this, I'll show you what I am doing. So you get your t-shirt, fold it face down, and what you're going to do is you're going to grab the bottom of this and you're going to fold it just up slightly like that. Then you're actually going to turn it back over. That's probably the most important part because if you don't do that, the whole thing's not going to work. And then you're just going to fold this in. And if you've got longer sleeves, you just fold them back again like that. So it's going to sort of be in a line together. Fold it again into the middle, fold the little sleeve back like that. So you sort of get like that size of the t-shirt. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to fold it once, fold it twice, and then you'll see here, you've got like a bit of a pocket that's been created from that very first fold that you did. And all you're going to do is I flip it back over, put my hands into the little pocket. I don't know if you can sort of see what I'm doing. I've sort of put my hands into the pocket and I'm just grabbing the rest of the t-shirt that I actually folded and then just rolling it over. So then that part of the t-shirt goes inside that little pocket. It's probably a little bit rough, but you get the gist. So that's how I fold the t-shirts, and this actually is really, really good for your space saving. Now I thought I'd also show you how to fold some shorts. I don't know how this one's going to go because it's been a while, but same concept, folding the top, the band or the shorts or whatever it is that you have, flipping it over, and then bringing this in once and another one into the middle like this. You're just sort of making it so it's even. So you end up with a line sort of down the middle of the shorts. This is like a really bad example, but that's okay. And then you're going to end up just folding this once, sort of halfway, and then again. So straight away you can see that I'm going to get that pocket again like I did with the t-shirt. This is going to be a little bit tighter because they're a lot smaller, the shorts, but it's the same concept. I just put my hands in the pocket and grab the other side of the shorts and roll this over. This is a really thick band, but it will actually work. and then you just fold in the shorts inside it, give it a bit of a pat and a squish, and then there you have it. You've got now another really small part of the shorts. Rather than stacking them up and up and up on top of each other, it's an awesome space saver. And it's the same with anything. You can do it with singlets and shirts, anything that you really want to fold. It's a really similar concept. Even if you don't have sleeves, this is just a singlet. Same thing, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Then you've got that pocket again, flip it over, roll it in, and there you go. Another really awesome little tip that I found on YouTube a few years back when we were traveling, because we needed to find some more room. And anyway, hope that helps you guys a little bit. I've got lots more to fold and pack, so I've got lots to do, so I'll see you guys a bit later. Okay, so we are back again next day, another beautiful day. This is just the final day of packing the last bits and pieces into the van today. So I've got my snacks here. I know you guys remembered yesterday that the kitchen was like really messy, and it was, well, not messy, it was just really full, I think. And now we've got it all sorted. So this is our snack stuff. We have chips and things, like obviously I've got nachos, so I've got my corn chips for the nachos, and snacks for Riley, snacks for me that I can eat, because obviously I can't eat gluten or dairy. So we've got just all the bits and pieces I think that we usually have at home. Like, it doesn't seem like there's heaps here for a week, but with what I showed you previously with all the fridge stuff, there was so much fruit in there because we love our fruit. So we have a lot of fruit, and we make little platters where we have our little tomatoes and cucumbers as well with it. So with this and the fruit combined and the other like cheese and crackers and stuff that are in the fridge, this will easily last us the week. If anything, we're probably going to bring quite a lot of this still home, so it's not really wasted anyway. We've got our eggs, obviously, and our bread, and we've got our extra milks and just all those bits and pieces that everyone usually runs out of, because we're really good at that. And then also today we're going to fill up the shampoo, conditioner, body wash little thing that I bought at Bunnings the other day, which you would have seen as well. We've got to fill it up today with these, and yeah, so I've got a really big day ahead. I was hoping to have more done, but yeah, life unfortunately gets in the way sometimes. So we're a little bit behind where I wanted to be, and I also have to mow 3 acres today because... All right, so I have been out here, I think for about an hour now, out in the caravan trying to figure out where everything's going. First time going away for a big trip in a new van, it's sort of, I struggle a bit trying to figure out where things can fit, because I love things to fit where they need to fit. I love my lines, I love everything just to fit snug, I love my Jenga. So I have actually rearranged a couple of cupboards, so Tim's going to go, where is this and where is this, because I've actually moved stuff while he's been at work. So the snack drawer I have done, which is here. There's a couple of little things that are catching a little bit, but the main thing is just the top of these little rice bags here that keep catching at the top. I have rearranged and I have put the bowls and cups and plates out here. If you want to have a look, Riley, just show them in here. These were originally inside, but now I've moved them out because they were driving me mad being inside the caravan, because I know going in and out, in and out, in and out just for the 2 days we were away, it was actually really annoying. So I've managed to change it, and it's out here and it's working. Obviously just all our bits and pieces and our snacks, they all fit. This is literally everything out here. And I still was able to keep my saucepans and things where I wanted to keep them, and all our snacks and everything towards the front here now, where Riley can easily reach, grab anything that he wants, and it's at the front. So snack drawer is a big tick. We've figured it out. All right, so I did check with Riley, but he's just not feeling up to being on camera. He's doing the best he can at the moment, poor thing. Fingers crossed that he's going to get better. We'll just keep getting him lots of fluids and lots of tablets, and hopefully he'll come good in a couple of days. Anyway, obviously he didn't want to do the shampoo conditioner, so I'll show you what I did. I also did the, I've also done the hand soap here, which is really cool. I actually like that it's there, and I actually put it over this side because I didn't want this over here and getting pumped and coming on here. So I've just attached that with one of the fusion locks, I don't know if you can sort of see, onto the mirror. And then that way, when you're pumping it, if we spill it, it just goes straight into the sink. So I don't know, I'm a bit of a clean freak, so I just like to have things that work. And in the shower here, this is our cool little canister that we bought. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash. I just filled all those up there, and yeah, it's really cool. It's done. And we're getting closer to being ready to go. I'm like getting a little excited. I've been pretty stressed actually the last couple of days, I'll be completely honest, because the list was so long and there was so many things to do. And I just kept thinking in my head, I don't know how I'm going to do this by myself. This is too much. And then with Riley getting sick, that sort of held me back a bit because I want to look after him and try and make sure he's okay. And lots of other exciting things going on in our life that will be coming later. Yeah, so all we have left to do is the clothes and the bed. So that's actually not that much to do. So as you can see, we've still got this awesome little topper that we got. Whether it's any good, we will most certainly be testing it out for the next week. I can't do the bed till Tim gets home because I need him to lay on it. We're not sure whether or not we're going to actually keep the eggshell underneath this as well, or if we're going to put that top layer directly onto the mattress. So we're going to strip the bed off, we're going to try it both ways, and then we'll decide. So that'll be fun.
So while Justine's in there putting away her clothes nice and neatly, I did my clothes in about 30 seconds. Justine's been in there for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Oh, hi. She can hear me, I forgot. But anyway, I'm just out here finishing packing the van. And I want to show you how we've packed up the front boot box. As you know, this is where the generator would normally go, but we don't pack a generator. And you can see that my packing style is different to Justine's. I just do the sort of the shove and hope method, but it's worked for 3 years and it's worked pretty well. So in here, we have got the solar panel for our battery unit, our sullage hose. This is Justine's laundry basket. I'm not too sure how it got in there, but there it is. And here are our 2 hoses. We're going to take the 20 meter and the 10 meter hose. You can see like they pack up next to nothing. That's the 10 meter hose in there. So, you know, it's just such a great way to travel with those hoses. But the only other thing I've got to put in there now is our cord, our electrical cord, because at the moment the van's just plugged in, just giving it one last charge before we head off. And then I'm going to go around the other side and quickly show you what I've got in the boot opposite the fridge. So let's go. All right, so around the other side of the van, just next to the fridge here, this is where I put most of the more bulkier, heavier stuff. So I want to show you what we have in here. So in the big box here, we've got our vehicle support stands, just in case we get a flat tire or we need to jack the van up for some reason. We've had these since we had our previous van, and they have not come out of the box, but you just never know when you're going to need it. And next to that, I'm not sure if you can see it, but in there we've also got our bottle jack, which we can use to jack up the van in case we ever need that as well. We've also got our 100 litre bladder. I don't think we're going to even need that this trip, but I'm taking it just in case. And we have our privacy awning that goes, our privacy screen that goes on our awning. And that's right there. That's going to be the first time we're going to be using it. So we just bought that one. So, and then what we have is what I've got in the back of the car. So ever since we first started traveling, we've never really put a lot of stuff into the back of a ute. Even when we had the Ram, we never really had a lot in there because we're always so conscious of that rear axle weight. And it's also the same with this car as well. So we don't carry much in the back of this car at all. But what we do carry is just the stuff that we want to get out and use pretty frequently. So what we have is we've got our ARB aluminium table, which is just awesome. We have had 2 of these now for, I think, when we first started traveling. So we're talking for 4.5 years. And when you get them out of the bag, they are still brand new. I mean, we've used them so much. Even while we've been here at the house, we use them all the time whenever we go outside to have a meal outside. And they're just such a great table. So I'm sure you'll see more of that in the upcoming videos. And we've got our 3 chairs. So that one's mine, Riley's, and Justine's. And one more thing we're taking, which we're very excited. Oops. One more thing we are taking with us is our stand-up paddleboard. All right, so we're going to be taking that because you know where we're going. It is going to be so awesome to use. So as you can see, when I pack, mate, I just tend to just put it in there. You know, I don't really worry about the lines as long as it fits, and then we're good. So that's pretty much it for the outside of the van. Justine's in there doing the rest of the inside of the van. She'll be at least another 4 or 5 hours yet. So yeah, but that's okay. That's what she does. Oh, she can hear me, but you can't hear her. The thing is, she doesn't have a microphone, so you can't hear her at the moment, so we're good. All right, so there's one more thing we have to do before we hitch the van up. And this is something that we are not taking with us when we travel, and I probably recommend you don't either, because these things are really, really heavy. And really, while you're traveling, I don't think you really need this on. But while you're stationary, I would definitely recommend you guys look at one of these wheel locks. Now, again, I've had this thing for over 5 years, even before we even started traveling on one of our first vans. This thing is an absolute beast. It's a purple line Nemesis wheel lock. I've seen videos on YouTube with these things, people trying to break into them, and it is not easy when it is locked. If we lock it and lose the keys, we physically have to ring Purple Line and let them know that we've locked it, because when you first get it, you register the key number with them, and if you lose the keys, then you have to ring them and they'll send you another key to unlock it. Because if you think you can saw through this, you probably could, but it's going to take you a long, long time and you won't have a wheel lock. But this thing is an absolute monster. And once that's on, if you think you're going to try to steal a van with this thing on it, you better be ready to make a whole lot of noise and to take a whole lot of time. So yeah, look, it takes quite a while to get on and off. Probably takes, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and it's super heavy, but it's super effective. So if you're storing your van when you're at home, when you're not traveling, I would definitely recommend you have a look at these. Well, I've got the most important job to do, besides Justine.
That's because you complain all the time. So this is what...
Because she's holding the camera. I just don't listen to her. So it's my decision on how we're going to have the bed arranged, because we just purchased one of these
Dreamer
RV 1 Deluxe toppers. And they're supposed to be the bee's knees. So now underneath, now as I've said before, I'm not a big fan of the actual mattress on the actual van, because it's just super uncomfortable and you can feel the springs through the overlay, so it's not very comfy. So this might be a bit overkill at the moment, but what we've got at the moment is we actually got a topper. We've got this.
It's an eggshell.
That's what I mean.
Topper.
An eggshell topper. We got that before our last trip, and that was pretty good. But then we decided to get one of these. So now we've got 2 toppers. I'm going to see how.
Which
it
I think's
actually
a bit overkill having
Well,
2.
You know what? You can never be not comfortable in the bed.
Watch
mate.
your head.
This is how I heard.
Yeah,
it
can you
last time.
please
So
be careful?
Oh, this is dangerous.
Can you move on your side of the bed though?
No.
Because you're not going to be sleeping in the middle.
Yeah, but
Sleep how you'd normally
you're
sleep.
not here. This is
Yeah,
how I normally
that's
sleep.
usually me getting KO'd by you.
This is very comfy. I have to say I do like it. And look, here's my little controllers here that I like playing with. And this is something that I've never actually talked about in the last
It's got nothing
video.
to do with the bed.
But here, I can control all the lights from here. And this little panel here, I never actually spoke about this before.
I know, but we're
This is
checking the
how,
bed.
yeah, listen, this is how we
This is
control.
what happens. We're doing one thing, we were trying to get this out of the way, and now he's going to get distracted
No.
and sidetracked, and now
Yeah,
we're going
but
to start
listen,
talking about little
This is really important.
electronics and stuff again.
I meant to say this last time, but this is how you turn the diesel heater on and off. Just this button here.
That's wonderful.
I won't do it. But I didn't actually mention that in our walkthrough video last time.
Yeah, I know. There's lots of things we didn't
Yeah.
mention. We have to do another one.
But anyway, I really like this. I don't know if it's overkill or not, but I really like it.
I think it is, and I'm just dreading making the bed with the double toppers
Oh, don't worry about that.
that's because you don't do it.
No. So let's try it with the eggshell topper off, shall we?
All right.
Part 2. Let's
So we've taken the top one off.
yeah. This is just with the
This is the big tester. This one.
yeah.
So jump on. Away you go.
Woohoo! It's actually pretty comfy, babe.
Good. That was what I was hoping you would say.
Okay. No, I quite like this. I think we can manage with this one.
Really?
Yep.
That's like super exciting.
See, I did that really well.
You did. You've learnt the first time.
Yep. So
Well, what's the verdict?
we'll just take this one,
Awesome. That's just made my life so much easier.
and then we can give that topper to Riley.
We actually need to buy Riley a whole new bed, but that's another story.
Well, that's true. All right, so one more thing remains and we're running out of light. I don't think we're going to be able to do it today, and that's hitching the van up to the car because I need to go and get fuel. And
That's another hot tip, isn't it?
That's right, and that's a really important thing about packing the van. Try to have as lesser fuel spots as possible.
Yeah.
So,
It's just easier without the van on.
yeah, I mean, we could get fuel in the morning, but it's just one more hassle that we
Yeah.
don't need to really worry about. So we're
Yeah.
going to sign off.
We want to hitch up tonight and just
Yeah.
be ready to go for the morning. So
And so next week's video will start tomorrow morning. I'm
Yeah.
actually driving out the driveway, which
So-
is very exciting.
we'll do the whole hitching up scenario in the next vid because we were hoping to have it in the sun, but it's just how it is.
It's all good.
So Tim helped me mow the lawn. So
I did. How good am I?
I appreciate that so much because I did everything that you wanted me to do today. So that's why we kind of ran out of time. That's why
Well, I need to
too
go
late.
and get this video together now. So
And I've got to go pack up the mowers and get some food to feed the boys.
yeah. All right. Well,
So tired. I'm so looking forward to bed tonight.
well, that's it. So we'll sign off, and I hope you've enjoyed the vid. It's been a bit of a long one, but I think everything we've covered has been really, really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week in the next video.
All right. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
I found my way.